A once thriving world, filled with a proud and highly advanced civilization, was now on the edge of collapse. The scientists and leaders of Krypton had long predicted the planet's destruction, but their warnings were ignored by those in power. Among the few who truly understood the gravity of the situation was Jor-El, the planet's greatest scientist. Jor-El had seen the signs: planetary instability, gravitational shifts, the very core of Krypton trembling with the imminent collapse. In a desperate bid to save his son, Jor-El made a heart-wrenching decision. He would send his infant son, Kal-El, to Earth, a far-off planet that he believed would be able to sustain him. His wife, Lara, tearfully agreed, knowing that it was their only hope for survival. Jor-El placed Kal-El in a small, advanced spacecraft, whispering promises of love and legacy before the ship was launched into the endless void of space. As the ship disappeared into the heavens, Krypton exploded, its vibrant cities and rich culture reduced to nothing but cosmic dust. Meanwhile, on Earth, in the quiet rural town of Smallville, Jonathan and Martha Kent were living a humble life. The couple had been unable to have children of their own, and they had long since resigned themselves to a childless future. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. One cold night, a streak of light tore across the sky and crashed near the Kent farm. Jonathan, curious and brave, went to investigate. To his amazement, he found not a meteor but a small spacecraft, and inside it a baby boy crying softly, wrapped in a blanket of golden fabric. Kents, both amazed and moved, knew that this child was a gift. They named him Clark and raised him as their own, loving him with all the devotion and care they could offer. Though Clark grew quickly, it wasn't until he was a teenager that his true nature began to reveal itself. As he matured, he began to notice strange things that no other human could do. He could run faster than a speeding car, lift weights that would crush any man, and see through walls with nothing but a glance. But the most perplexing discovery of all came one fateful day, when Clark stood at the top of a high hill, feeling the pull of something greater than himself. As he leaped into the air, he soared, soaring higher and higher until he felt the wind whip around him. It was in that moment that Clark Kent understood. He wasn't like anyone else. He wasn't even human. He was something more. The realization came with a burden. Clark felt torn between the ordinary life he had lived with the Kents and the extraordinary abilities that seemed to come with his unknown heritage. The responsibility was heavy, but deep inside, Clark knew that his powers were not just a gift, they were a calling. As the years passed, Clark struggled with his identity. He knew his destiny lay beyond the farm, in a place that was bigger and more complicated. Through a pivotal moment where Jonathan Kent spoke to him about the responsibility that came with his powers, Clark made a choice. He left the small town of Smallville behind and moved to Metropolis. In Metropolis, Clark Kent adopted a new identity, a mild-mannered reporter at the Daily Planet, where he hoped to make a difference not just through his superhuman strength but through his mind, his heart, and his dedication to the truth. But the duality of his life was not an easy one. As Clark, he was an ordinary man, trying to fit in and find his place in a world that could never truly understand him. But as Superman, he was something entirely different, a symbol of hope, strength, and justice. As Superman, he protected the innocent from disaster, fought against crime, and stood up to forces of evil wherever they appeared. Yet, as Clark Kent, he was just a man, fumbling through his awkward attempts at romance with the brilliant and beautiful Lois Lane, his colleague at the Daily Planet. Lois, ever the skeptic, was determined to uncover the mystery of the mysterious hero who seemed to appear at the most critical moments, always saving the day.